Welcome, everybody. This is Andrew David. This is Blake Newbar's partner program and the high performance call. Some of you guys are joining for the first time or one of the first times. Some of you guys have been around for months and months, and I love having you guys here. I love seeing you guys on. I love getting messages, emails, and notes back from people that are learning and growing and experiencing doing new things. And there's a reason for that. I started down this journey of kind of self-discovery, personal development a few years back, really a long time ago, but it's a pathway that I have walked and then left and returned to many times throughout my life. And some of you guys may have experienced that as well. And you're wondering, why is it that you can't stay on it? Why are you struggling to change the habits? Why is it that you continue to react to things in life instead of responding to it? What is it that's missing? It's taking not just the steps to break a habit. It's not just you, but oftentimes it's the system that's being used and how you approach it. And so the purpose of these high performance calls is not just to get you excited. It isn't simply to motivate you. It's not to be only a cheerleader, although I am absolutely a cheerleader for you guys. What I want you guys to do is not just learn from me, but learn from each other, and to create here a community of growth. I'm not trying to make this into some kind of weird cult of personality. What I want it to be is a community of like-minded individuals that are willing to push themselves beyond what you imagine you are capable of, and then find the support and help. Because the amount of times that I get a message back, an email or a text or something saying, I'm struggling with this because family is saying that, or a friend is saying this, or because this old blueprint that I've had for years keeps popping up, and I'm just not sure if I'm going to be able to do it. I'm losing my momentum. I'm losing the motivation. Guys, that's what this is about. And so it's set up to create a system to teach you how to utilize a system and a community that will help you. So every day you can try and be here. Every day you can try and participate. And the more you participate, the more you take what we teach here and then go and apply it, the more you'll get out of this. So if you're not yet, and I know a couple of you I need to resend a link to, but if you're not yet, I started nearly 2 months ago now. I started an affirmations group, and it's transformed into a 30-day challenge group. Now, the impetus behind that was these affirmations. And when I got back into personal development a few years ago, I was at a point in my life where, therapy was part of my life. Depression was part of my life. Insomnia, it wasn't really insomnia. It was a blend of insomnia and sleep apnea and sleep deprivation and depression and frustration and anger at life in general. And so I was sliding back into this, trying to find myself again, and trying to peel back the layers of the onion and trying to figure out who the hell I was and what I was going to do and how to get over the ups and downs. Does any of that sound familiar to some of you? Maybe not the whole entire thing, but pieces of it. Where you go, I've done this before. This is the 5th time I'm starting over. This is the 20th time I'm starting over. The affirmations challenge came about because I started doing more of them. Now, there's different ways to go about changing who you are. That was one of the things that I implemented. Some people use yoga, exercise, getting back to the gym. When I was going through, especially with therapy, and I was on some antidepressants, I truly 100% believe that the exercise was what allowed that therapy to really have a better effect on me, to the point where I didn't feel, and my therapist agreed with me, that I didn't need the antidepressants anymore, because I had found something that was better for me, that became part of my life. Guys, you need to find that for you. How often are you going through your day and you find that you're reacting to life, or you're reacting to situations instead of responding to them? Okay, now the difference between the two: reacting to something means that it's more an instinctual response. It's something that you've trained. Oftentimes it's not 100% instinct, that it just comes out of nowhere. Oftentimes that response is what happens because you've trained it into your life, right? You allow the emotions to overwhelm. You don't have control over that, and you're just reacting all of the time. The kids drop something, your husband says something that upsets you, and maybe it's not even him. Maybe it's something that, it's that straw that broke the camel's back, something that you've been hearing over and over and over again for the last 15 or 20 years. Maybe it's something that happened at work. Maybe it's a new relationship or a new business and a new venture. And what you're doing is you're dragging along with you all of the emotional baggage and the nonsense that you've dealt with in the past. And you're immediately putting into context here. And you're not even aware that you're reacting like that, but you are. What I want you to do today, I'm going to give you guys a worksheet about responding versus reacting. I want you to identify, I'm going to give you a quick glance at what it looks like here. I'm going to give this to you. I'll drop I'm going to drop the link right now into the Skype chat, and I'm going to give it to the group here in just a minute in the Skype group. I'm going to put it in the Zoom chat, and then I'll put it in the Skype group later. But it's, the difference between reacting and responding, the outcomes, possible results. So it's fairly simple. Here's kind of a formula, different ways that you can look at and treat. If you catch yourself unconsciously reacting, how can we consciously respond? And different things that you can do. Praying and meditation, yoga, affirmations. The whole point is because I've got to slowly transform the systems that I use. And that's why those affirmations are there. That's why I'm hosting these 30-day challenges. That's why I'm asking you guys to participate in a level that you never have, so that not only will you get more out of it, that's the document there, guys, but not only will you get more out of it, but you'll allow others to get more out of it as well. The simple fact, some of you guys have already posted, hey, this is what I'm doing. Some of you have already done a couple of things with the bucket list items. Some of you are continuing to do the affirmations. I promise you that there are people in that group that have already messaged me and said, Andrew, I see you posting, but really it was, someone else posted that they had done it that got me up and doing it, right? The power that you guys have in that group, in the Facebook group, the power that you have to influence others' lives is greater than you know. And I promise those that are around you are starting to see the way that you are changing. If you're actively trying to change, there are those around you that are starting to see that. Now, this is what happens when people around you start to notice your change. One of the first things that many of them feel is concern, maybe even a little bit of fear, worry. Why are they changing? What's wrong? If they're doing something, what's going on? Why are they doing this? Sometimes it's to protect, and sometimes they're worried that something is happening behind the scenes that they're not aware of. And that's why you're trying to do something so dramatic. And so sometimes the best thing that you can do is just continue that positivity and be consistent with it, right? It doesn't have to be, in order to change, you don't have to go from, the person, if we're thinking about maybe high school days, the person sitting that's the wallflower and turn into the cheerleader, right? You're not trying to be someone false. You're not trying to be something completely different all at once. That transformation takes time. But they'll have a little concern, and then they'll accept, right? Maybe they'll try and warn you, but as long as you're able to communicate to them, look, the transformation that I'm going through is something that's necessary for me, right? I'm not going to disappear. I'm not going to change completely, what's happening, but I understand that the pathway I was on isn't quite going to take me where I want to go. Mm-hmm. And the great thing is it doesn't matter how old I am, I'm still capable of growing. And so that's what I'm trying to do. Occasionally, I may ask you for a little bit of help to make sure that I'm living up to my best potential. Can you do that for me? Know that I love you. Know that I'm here to help. So those are the people that are right next to you. And then you have people like here in this group. And some of this is also going to play out for your leads, your fans, the people on social media. You're going to be posting things that start to tap into their thoughts. There is something better available. There's something better available for my business. There's something different for me. This is a place that, this is someone that I want to begin to know and like and trust. And as I begin to do that, now I'm going to want to buy stuff from them, right? It's this whole process. But here, guys, you have, and I want you to know you have a safe space. You have a group of individuals that are going through something similar. We're all here to grow together, right? Now, I've had earlier today, I had someone that hasn't been on the calls in a little bit, and I messaged, they follow me on social media. They use some of my stuff, and I messaged and said, hey, this is happening on July 9th. I'm going to have this person on. You should be there. And they were talking about they're going through a process of reimagining themselves. And guys, you don't have to take a year-long sabbatical to find you. You can do your own sabbatical every single day. And it could be a 5-minute, it could be a 60-minute thing. Maybe it's yoga every day. Maybe it's, meditation or prayer, or it's reading, or it's going on a walk. Whatever it is, find something for you. And as you do that every single day, it allows you to respond to things a little bit differently because you're allowing your mind to work out all of this stuff. So what I want you to think about today, guys, is are you reacting or are you responding? And what can you do to start to respond more? And what are things that you can do to put yourself in a better situation to evaluate yourself every single day? Now, part of this may be with your bucket list challenge. Part of it may be I'm going to do yoga every day for the next 30 days, 90 days, whatever. It could be working out every single day. It could be reading every single day. It could be having a conversation with a mentor, a friend, an accountability partner every single day. Do something this month that you've never done before. Experience life in a little bit different manner, because in order to change, there will be moments when you're going to have to beat the hell out of your ego, where you're going to have to recognize that change is necessary. And most of us don't like to hear we've got an issue, but you have to be careful when you do that so that you don't beat yourself up and just stare at your weaknesses. You're simply understanding that growth requires change. In order to get your strengths stronger, they've got to change. You've got to break them down a little bit. In order to hone in on what it is you truly want to achieve, you've got to break yourself down and push yourself through. And every one of you is capable of it. You just got to push yourself. So worksheet is right there. And I'm going to drop it to you guys in the group. Today, your homework is just sit down and look at, are you reacting or are you responding? And if you are reacting, there will be things that you do. Odds are you guys all do both. Can we all agree we've got something that we react to on a consistent basis? And yet there are things that we respond to. There are things that we're able to think through. There are things that we understand, we know, and hey, I've worked this out in the past. It doesn't bother me anymore, right? I've had so many car issues, for example, in my life, so many different things, flat tires, problems with engines, this ticket or that ticket for some nonsense that the state of Florida messed up or whatever. I've locked my keys, and I think it's just my dad laughing at me from, heaven, because he was a locksmith. I've locked my keys in my car so many times. I can't even, and I don't get frustrated about it anymore. It happens. You kind of shake it off and you go on. That's not going to upset me. It's never going to upset me. But then there are other little things that just flare up for no reason, right? Figure out what it is you react to and what you respond to. And if you've already worked out some things that you respond to, how was it you got to that point? So this worksheet is going to help illuminate some of those elements. It's also going to give you a handful of things that you can do to make that transition from reaction to response. Keep working on yourselves, okay? Make this a month of new experiences. Make this a month where you begin to transform who you are because you experience life in a different way. You experience events that you never have. And you help share that path and that journey with other people so they can do the same thing. That you can always go out, rise from the ashes, fly like the phoenixes that you are. Have an amazing day, and let's rock and roll, everybody.